The Unhappy Hour on TheNewAmericanMedia.com.
Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way Galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, Louisville, Kentucky to be specific. Hello everybody, my name is Brian Engelman, and this is The Unhappy Hour here on the TNAM network with the New American Media. Feels good to be back on Facebook. I almost forgot what it felt like to be on this platform. So, because I was taken off, you need to make sure that you're following where we're at. We're going to be rebuilding TheNewAmericanMedia.com. We're going to be building and launching TheUnhappyHour.com. Probably some merchandise on its way soon. We do have pins. Do I have a pin right there to show you? Collector's pins. $25 donations, $20 of which goes directly to our graphic designer, Ted Distel, who made our awesome logo. So if you want one, let me know. Leave me a message. They're fundraisers for Ted, who made us an awesome neon sign design for the New American Media's The Unhappy Hour. Make sure you're following us on Twitter. We're at TheUnhappyHour_. TheUnhappyHour_. Give me all of your thoughts. Anything you want to say about the Browns game, any questions for me, type it into the comments on Facebook as we go. I want to kind of walk you through what happened in the game yesterday. The Browns, man, this was a barn burner, as they say. Browns, Cowboys. Second offensive snap of the game, Myles Garrett blasted Dak Prescott. We've seen Myles making big plays in every game this season. We've seen him making big plays throughout his career, but sometimes it almost seems like he's setting the guys up for big plays later in the game. In this one, it was second play of the game. Just blasted Dak. And you could tell it really did throw them off a little bit. It threw off their rhythm. It threw off their confidence. And that's a big-time player making a big-time play in a big-time game. This is a big-time game. Being 3-1 versus being 2-2, it's a big difference. It set the tone. It was a great spin move where Myles got off of his defender and got in for that sack. Nick Chubb was looking great as usual throughout the first quarter. The offensive line is looking fantastic. That is the Shanahan influence, I believe. You're looking at great stuff from the Cleveland Browns offensive line. Unfortunately, of course, Nick Chubb did get injured. I don't believe we have the results of the MRI yet. They're thinking it was a knee. He was kind of grabbing his calf, but I guess it was his knee. I haven't seen results yet. Prayers to Nick Chubb. Great player. Just a great guy from all I can tell. I really want him to come back and be strong, but it shows you the importance of having two incredible running backs, and it really shows you the importance of having an offensive line. If you have a great offensive line, you can plug and play anybody, and it looks like the Browns did. Of course, Kareem Hunt was a former NFL leading rusher a couple of years ago. You don't lose a lot going from 1A to 1B. They're both fantastic. Of course, rooting for Nick Chubb to just maybe have a sprain or something or a strain, and he'll come back, maybe take a week or two off. Lord willing, I'd hate to lose Chubb. But we saw really good play from the backup running backs, of course. It was nice to see Austin Hooper getting more involved in the game. Game by game, he's making some more catches. He's making some, you're going to want to see your tight end being a safety blanket, to be, and I talk about it later in my notes here about that safety valve, that safety blanket, having somebody come through and always there to catch those third down conversions to keep the clock running. You need players like Jarvis, like Hooper, to just really always be in the right place just past where the sticks are so that we can keep these drives going. The Browns had a ton of first downs. So then of course you had one of the most awesome highlight reel plays you'll see from the Cleveland Browns of the past, since '99, since we returned. This one was Baker tossing it to Chubb, who tossed it to Landry, who launched a beautiful left-handed pass all the way down for a touchdown, 37-yard beauty to Landry's best friend, Odell Beckham Jr. I love the story. I love that they're playing together. I love that they're having so much fun. They're great players. We saw a lot of nice stats, a lot of great plays from Beckham and Landry when they played with the Giants and the Dolphins, respectively. But now being on the same team and to see they're not complaining about how many touches they get, how many catches they get, their statistics, I think they're really happy to be 3-1. The Dolphins and the Giants have not historically been great teams, at least during those years that they were playing on them. And the Browns were not good last year. I couldn't understand why we weren't scoring this kind of points, this level of points, the multitude of points that we're getting to now. Last year, it's got to go down to coaching. It has to go down to the coaching for the Cleveland Browns. You know, we put a rookie head coach in there, and yes, we have a rookie head coach now, but it feels so different, right? This year, it just feels like we know what we're doing. I remember the quote last year. I think I said Shanahan earlier. I meant Bill Callahan, the Browns' offensive line coach. I apologize for that. Bill Callahan. But it seemed like last year, and that quote that stands out to me, I believe it was our offensive coordinator, Todd Monken. I believe he was quoted saying that we would practice all week for one scheme against our opponent, and we'd get into the game and throw all of our practice out the window and call plays that we didn't practice and we didn't work on. Well, that's not a winning formula. That's not a winning strategy. I'll just always remember that quote as to how Freddie Kitchens did not prepare the team to succeed. You know, when I played high school football for undefeated teams, my junior year and senior year, both undefeated, playoff teams both years, I mean, we game planned for a team and we stuck to the game plan. So when it happened, we weren't paralysis through analysis. We just reacted. We had gone through all of the sweeps, the end arounds, all the things that the team would do. Our coaching staff studied it. They had us prepared. And so when it happened in the game, we just reacted. We knew that if our guard pulled, we knew to put our shoulder down because we had someone coming on, kick us out. We knew how to be prepared for our teams that we were playing, and that was something that the Browns did not have last year. It seems like they have a game plan. Now, that game plan does include giving up a lot of offense. The Browns will let the other team move the ball against them, but luckily now we have an offense that can compete. We can hold our own against anybody in the league. It's obvious. I mean, the Cowboys can score as much as anybody in the league, and we beat them. Yeah, and, CeeDee Lamb, wide open, missed coverage, totally blown coverage, tied the game, 7-7. Harrison Bryant, it was nice seeing him get a first down catch in the first quarter. He looks good. He was, a fifth-round pick? I think he was graded as the number one tight end coming out of last year's class, but they graded last year's class as a weak class. Well, this coach, Kevin Stefanski, he really likes having a lot of tight ends in use and a lot of running backs. That's the balance that he wants. And that's kind of why, Stephon Diggs, he wanted out of Minnesota because they weren't throwing to him in the volume he was used to. Well, you can either win or you can put up meaningless stats. Look no further than Dak Prescott and all the yards that they threw for. What counts is the win. And this is another game where, we've seen it a couple times already. These are the types of games the Browns used to lose. It's not happening anymore. They're finding a way to avoid snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, which is pretty cool. Sione Taki, he missed an easy interception that Lamb ended up catching with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. There were about five. I counted, I think 4 or 5. I don't know if I'd call them all easy. I'd say 3 were easy, 2 were doable. You got to make those interceptions. These are game changers. Those are 14-point swings potentially. You take 7 off their board, you add 7 to yours. Yeah, maybe there's something in between. It could be an 11, it could be a 10, it could be a 7, it could be 3-point, 6-point. Those are big swings that you have to capitalize on. We got through it, but we can't. And I tweeted out, make sure you're following us on Twitter, at @TheUnhappyHour_. Do it now. Follow us on Twitter because we've been gone from the Facebook world for about 6 weeks without explanation, without reason. And if we didn't have somebody on the inside to help us out, we'd still be kicked off. So don't rely on us here on Facebook or here on YouTube. Make sure you're on Twitter. And then once we build TheNewAmericanMedia.com, we do have the website. We just have to get it up and running. That will be our new hub. That's where you guys can come find us because I just don't trust Facebook anymore, and neither should you. Anyway. So yeah, there was a touchdown to Amari Cooper. I mean, 2 of the Browns defenders missed. I mean, they converged. I don't know how they missed and how it got. I can't draw you. I need a dry erase board or something. But 2 of our defenders crisscrossed and I don't know how we missed. But Cooper ended up getting a touchdown, putting the Cowboys up 14-7. And you kind of had that feeling. It just kind of went, ah. Missed an interception. It leads to a touchdown. The touchdown could have been broken up. You're just going, is it going to be one of these games? Close but no cigar. But luckily that didn't happen. Right after that, there was a Beckham end around. Beckham came on an end around with 2 minutes left in the first. And I feel like that might have given us confidence and given him confidence and given the line confidence, the coaching staff confidence to call that later in the game. We'll get back to that. But that was a good end around that led to a few yards, a nice pickup. It's something else. How in the world did the refs miss the helmet-to-helmet collision on Kareem Hunt at the end of the first quarter? It was so obvious. And with so few fans in the stands, you can hear a lot better on the field. There's got to be a way that you can catch that. And I feel like if there's something so blatant, I mean, if you care about the safety of your players, you need to punish the defenders that are going to be initiating that. That still upsets me. Because imagine if Chubb's out with a knee and now you got Hunt out with a concussion. What are you going to do in that place? That's a totally different game. You can't let players be getting injured on really reckless plays by the defense. It was a nice touchdown to Beckham over the middle in the second to tie it at 14. That's what you need. You got the playmakers. Quick play action, a quick juke, a quick look around, a toss over the middle for a touchdown. That's all day, folks. That's all day. I mean, Baker's short. Beckham's big back there. Long arms, good leaping ability. Toss it up to him. Figure this out. When you're that close, you cannot settle for 3. It was nice to see the Browns do that. Then you had Myles Garrett with another massive play. Big-time player making big-time play in a big-time game. Myles Garrett with a strip sack with Olivier Vernon sighting, everybody. How about that? He ended up recovering it early in the second. That was huge. These plays are backbreakers. It throws the teams out of rhythm. It gives us more opportunities to score points. Love it. And then it was Hooper with a touchdown catch. That was his first touchdown catch as a Brown, 21-14. And that was nice because that kind of set the tone where we were headed. Huge Ezekiel Elliott fumble in the second quarter. On back-to-back plays, the Cowboys turned the ball over twice. If you have any comments or questions, type them in the comments section over here, everybody. So that was nice. It was nice to see. I think we're going to see a lot of things. We paid a lot of money for Hooper. I know the coaching staff has big plans for Hooper. And with all the attention you have to pay to our running game, all the attention you have to pay to Beckham and Landry, the tight end's going to have a lot of opportunities. Dearness Johnson was running really well as a backup running back for the Browns. So was Hilliard. I mean, Johnson and Hilliard, plug and play, man. They did fantastic. What was it, 307 yards? That's the most the Cowboys have ever given up in the running game in team history. I think that's a big deal. Hunt with another touchdown run. You don't lose a lot going from Chubb to Hunt. Now, that's not to say Chubb is not valued, not needed. Don't get it twisted. But that's the key to having 2 great running backs. And then the offensive line will make your backups look like legit running backs as well. So it's just so nice to know we went out and signed Jack Conklin. We went out and drafted our left tackle of the future. It's nice to see that so much effort after gathering the skill players, the position players, that we really went after the linemen. It really helps Bill Callahan, not Shanahan, Bill Callahan coach up his squad and do a good job. Beckham and Landry, they kind of remind me of Brian Brennan. A lot of third down safety blankets. I've seen it over the past few weeks now in this early season. A lot of third down, key first down drive extending plays from these wide receivers. It's really nice. You got to keep the clock running. Really important. I felt like Cody Parkey has really established the kicking game. And that was all well and good until what is with the extra points getting blocked? We have got to figure that out. I mean, is it time to change our special teams coach? Wasn't he the only holdover from last year? I think he was. We've got to you cannot be letting extra points get blocked. Kareem Hunt went in, got a second touchdown of the day, 38-14. Browns looking good. MJ Stewart on a nickel blitz early in the third. Big stop. If you can't cover the other team, you might as well blitz them. I'm hoping if that's going to be our Achilles heel throughout the season is throwing on us with the linebackers in the secondary, you better be blitzing a little bit more. Stretch out the line, do some stunts, do some twists, and get that extra blitzer in. If they're not going to be covering the guys and letting everyone catch it, might as well speed that clock up by a half second. Jacob Phillips, a nice open field tackle, but then he misses an interception with 6 minutes left in the second. Once again, Jacob Phillips probably pressed into action a little too soon, but you go with what you got. And then you just saw it. We went from 41-14, 41-22, 41-30, near disaster on special teams with that watermelon kick. Almost down inside of the 10-yard line. We almost touched it at like the 15-20, and it rolled. And if it would have stopped there within inside that 10-5-yard line, that's a live ball. It barely crossed the end zone. So that was another near gaff on special teams. Parkey hit a field goal, 41-14. Sorry, I went backward there. Anyway, and then you had Baker Mayfield, missed a wide open Beckham on 3rd and 5 with 6 minutes left. That was brutal. He kind of threw it off his back foot. He wasn't planted. He wasn't hurried. He needs to nail that. That's how you close games. We left it open. And because we weren't able to get that to a wide open Beckham, 3rd and 5 with 6 minutes left, they went down. CeeDee Lamb got another touchdown catch, making a 3-point gain, 41-38 with 3 minutes 42 seconds. The second squib attempt was a failure. They left us with the ball at the 50, and that's where we had the Beckham end around, avoiding a 12-yard loss. Disaster. I mean, they almost blew that play up 12, 13 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And then in the interview later, he said he was going to slide. He was going to get around, get the first down, and slide, and then he just turned the Jets on. Great play. Great highlight reel play. Extra point was blocked, but it turned into a 2-point score for the Browns. And then Ward intercepted the ball from Prescott at the 3-yard line, wrapping up the win. Hallelujah. Cheers. The Browns are 3-1 for the first time in almost forever. Look, I got to run. Quick recap. Super excited. I'll give you more throughout the week as we prep for our opponent next week. I appreciate you. Please subscribe. Please tell your friends. If you want to donate to the cause and get one of our collector's pins, there's only going to be 100 of these designs ever made. Probably only going to let 50 out into the wild. Let me know. Type a message. Say, yes, I'd like a pin. They're collector pins, like the Disney pins, any collector pins you could imagine. They are a fundraiser to get money to our graphic designer, Ted Distel. Help the cause with the Unhappy Hour. Go Browns. I will talk with you later. Take care.
The Unhappy Hour on TheNewAmericanMedia.com.